At the end of the day, no matter what Trump says, if he doesn't have followers in the Republican Party, it doesn't really matter. But he does have followers: Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Herschel Walker, and others. But if nobody pays attention or takes them seriously, then it doesn't really matter. But unfortunately, there are tens of millions of people who love this. I hesitate to even call it a movement. It's sort of a perversion of a movement, but there are tens of millions of people. And here are a few of them who went to the Trump rally over the weekend. Here is a woman who believes things have been so bad under Joe Biden that obviously everybody's going to vote Trump in 2024.
Specifically.
So, Trump is going to have a lot to do, a lot of work. But see, he's the one that knows how to do it. And people that didn't vote for Trump, they're going to do it this time because they've been taught a hard lesson.
Yeah.
A hard lesson.
So that's a very optimistic Trump supporter saying they learned the hard way. They learned the hard way. And of course, what we've learned is Trump's willing to try to steal an election he lost in order to stay in power, ignoring all elements of democracy and checks and balances in this country. Here's just kind of a funny, cringy moment. There's a guy in the audience at the rally who wrote what he describes as a very patriotic song, but nobody will listen to it. So he insists on giving us a few lines. This is weird.
We're trying to release a patriotic song, but I can't get anyone to listen to it here. Oh, you guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to sing it?
No, it's a missionary friend of mine that wrote it, but I played it for a few people in Houston, and they said they were going to get back with me, but...
Two people in Houston said, let me think about it. That's not bad. That's a ringing endorsement.
It starts off life, liberty, and truth, worth fighting for. Honor, love, and truth is worth dying for, and it mentions everything about the Great Awakening, but I can't get anyone to listen to it.
I can't imagine why. I mean, he's such an inspiring speaker, and it's such a prescient message.
That sounds like a great song. It's kind of bad no one wants to listen to it.
Well, just everybody's busy, everybody's doing something,
Well, how do we hear it?
If you just gotta give me a card, I'll send some of it.
I will mail you a cassette tape with the song on it. Continuing our tour of the Trump rally, another guy at the Trump rally had a suggestion for balancing the budget, so no shortage of economic ideas presented either.
Rally here. How's it going, sir?
You know how they can balance the budget?
How's that?
Drill 2 oil wells in Alaska and let it all go to the national budget. And then we won't have no worries about our inflation either to take care of it.
I missed
We need Trump back in there to take care of all this. Biden needs to retire. Harris needs to retire. Pelosi needs to retire. Schumer and all them idiots up there.
It sounds like he's saying retard, but I guess he's saying retire. Yeah, okay, so he has some economic ideas, which are very, very interesting. And then lastly, here's a guy wearing an American flag jacket with an FJB, that's, F Joe Biden hat on, who drove, I guess, to Georgia from New York and waited 6 hours in line. Now, I'm not ridiculing this. Understand the level of commitment and devotion that some of these people have. I mean, I'm the first one to say, I don't know of anyone who would do that to just hear Joe Biden speak, not because they don't support Biden, but because there's not a cult-like obsession with him as an individual. It's just, is he doing an okay job as president? I don't need to drive across the country to listen to the guy. I'll watch it on TV. But understand that it's important that they have this level of commitment.
what he's doing over there in Poland right now,
He's
going to meet
making
the
an ass.
refugees of Ukraine.
He's making an idiot of himself.
He hasn't been to the southern border, but he's
No,
been
right.
over to Ukraine.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's all those
We.
pony shows.
It really is. It really is. So, you guys from Georgia?
Okay, anyway, so then the guy goes on to say he drove there from New York and stood in line for 6 hours and et cetera, et cetera. If we misunderstand these people, they're going to win again. It's just the reality of the situation. And so it needs to be taken very seriously. And we are now, it's easy to laugh and say, guys, it's been almost 2 years since the election. They're still saying it was stolen. They still call him President Trump. They still say he's really the president. And we laugh and we point. But that is a level of devotion, a cult-like devotion that fortunately doesn't exist on the left. Like, I don't really care about politicians from a personality standpoint. It's just like, are you going to do the things you promised, and are you going to do things I agree with? That's it. I'm not driving anywhere. There's no cult-like interest. But this is exactly what could rocket them back to the Oval Office as soon as 2024. So it should not be ignored. A dystopian, horrific weekend in Georgia.